Hey there, second graders. At this point, you probably already know that we're going to move into some poetry in the month of May, which is one of my favorite things to read because they're so short most of the time, and they're just fun to read. They have great rhyme and rhythm. So hopefully by now you already watched the introduction video for the week on poetry, and you know that this week you're going to be writing a bunch of different acrostic poems. An acrostic poem simply takes a word and describes it in a poem by using each letter of the word. So I wanted to show you a couple examples that I did at home, just so that you could have them as an example here, okay? So instead of doing my name, which is kind of boring, Mrs. Green, instead I did Charlotte's name because there's a lot of letters in her name. So it was a good idea. It gave me good ideas to get all of them down. Okay, so this is Charlotte's. Okay, and I'm going to try to read it backwards here. So hopefully I can do it. So you can see I wrote her name down here at the bottom, going from top to bottom, Charlotte. And I said C, and these are words that are going to describe her. Okay, so part of the task of the poem is not just any C word, but a C word that connects to Charlotte and who she is. So she's pretty careful most of the time, helpful, always moving. She's random. She says lots of random things because she's 2 years old. If any of you have little sisters or brothers, you know they sometimes say very random things. So she has random thoughts. She's a little girl. She is, I can't read that. Oh, an outside lover. We've loved being outside. So she's an outside lover. She's 2. She's tiny, and she is energetic. Very energetic. So that is the poem that I wrote for Charlotte. And so I just wanted to share that with you. You can see that most of them are just one word, but a couple of them I have 2 words. You could have up to a small or short phrase as well. Okay. Now, I didn't draw a picture to go with this one, but you can absolutely draw a picture. And sometimes what's more fun is to draw the picture first, like draw something, draw a couple things, and then decide what you want to write the poem on. It gives you some inspiration. So this is what happened with us. Charlotte wanted to do projects, and so we did a project of a little chick. So you can see here, that's her handprint. And then we added a face and some feet. And so this was a picture of her chick. And I thought, oh, it's so cute. What am I going to do with this? So other than hang it up, I thought, let's write an acrostic poem about a chick, describing a chick, okay? So this is my acrostic poem on a chick. So again, I wrote the word chick going down, and then each letter that has to start the word, okay, to describe it. So the C, I wrote can hatch, right? They can hatch. The H, hair is fluffy. A hair is fluffy on a chick. The I said inside a coop. That's where they live, is inside of a coop. Some birds, some chicks. The other C, I had to decide here. I wrote cute, but I really, after I thought about it a little more, I wish I would have written cheep, 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 or chirp, 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 because that's the sound they make. And then here for K, I said they kick out of the egg. That's how I imagine they hatch. They kind of kick their way out. So here I had both my poem and my picture to go with it. So feel free to get creative. You'll notice that each day you're going to write a different type of acrostic poem, but all the same format. So the first day, Monday, you're going to write your name as an acrostic poem. So you can draw a self-portrait. You could take a cute selfie picture of yourself. And then each day you're going to write an acrostic poem about something different. If you're loving it, feel free to write on whatever you want. It's also fun. You can type up your poem if you feel interested in that. So you can write in big letters, like big capital letters, bold letters down, and then just type right across. And it's kind of fun to see your work typed out and published that way too. So if you have one throughout the week that you're super excited about and you drew a cool picture to go with it, feel free to share it with me. I can't wait to see what your acrostic poems look like. This is not an acrostic poem, but I have this book, Where the Sidewalk Ends, which is a poetry text by Shel Silverstein. Many of you probably have read some poems from this text. Maybe you even have it at your house. So before I left you with my examples, I wanted to read you just a fun, silly poem. Maybe you're watching this video in the morning and maybe you ate pancakes. This poem is called Pancake. And I say it like that because there's a question mark in the title of the poem. So I said pancake with my voice going up at the end. I'll show you the picture when I'm done reading. Who wants a pancake, sweet and piping hot? Good little Grace looks up and says, I'll take the one on the top. Who else wants a pancake fresh off the griddle? Terrible Teresa smiles and says, I'll take the one from the middle. What's the problem with taking one from the middle? That's right. They'll all fall down. I love poetry, so I hope that you're enjoying this week. I hope you'll enjoy listening to some poetry. We have those opportunities for you. And if you have any poetry books at home, feel free to read them. Also, if you YouTube Shel Silverstein, Where the Sidewalk Ends, you can listen to some wonderful poems just for fun. Have a great week.